Gentrification, the fixing up of certain areas, but also the replacement of lower income individuals with higher income groups, whether it be middle class or upper middle class or higher income. A lot of it occurs in areas with vacant housing or with vacant buildings. And so that allows them then to be easily transferred, transposed, converted into new homes, new building, new businesses, what have you. And so first off, where are we going to see a greater chance of gentrification? Close to amenities, but also where there's vacant housing. This map here showcases vacant housing around downtown Indianapolis inside 465. One particular area that's seen gentrification is the area along Massachusetts Avenue. In a previous chapter, I referred to this area as a good example of a previous concentric ring model Zone 1B, or just essentially a warehouse wholesaling district that served the downtown businesses. And so it's a lot of buildings, some office, but a lot of just bigger buildings that just used to store a bunch of stuff that was at times needed by local consumers or more often than not local businesses. Today, Massachusetts Avenue has become a bar district, a nightlife area, an area of entertainment, along with also seeing increasing a number of residents. But what's happened there is the prices are going up. And so gentrification has occurred here, but it's actually been occurring for the last 10, 15 years. So Massachusetts Avenue, you come here in the 1990s, 1980s, very dark, abandoned buildings, very, very, very few businesses operating. Today, a much different pattern. Here we have the Google Street View of Massachusetts Avenue, and so we have buildings on both the left and the right. And those buildings used to be, bigger buildings that served the downtown CBD that we can see in the center. And so what we got here is we've got a good example also of mixed use. So in the suburban areas, it's the separation of zoning. Here we see on the bottom floor businesses, different types of businesses, a Starbucks over there on the right. Then the next floor, particularly could be in some buildings, could be offices, and other buildings could be apartments. And then in some buildings they have retail on the bottom, office in the middle, and residential on top. And so that's what I'm talking about as far as mixed uses, mixture of those different types of land uses instead of separating them into separate areas. And so this is an area that's seen redevelopment. So this is, the amenities have been added. They've got the trees that have been added, landscaping. There's still some improvements they could make, but nonetheless, this is seeing a revitalization as it's become kind of the young, hip area of downtown. But will it stay the same? As different areas of downtown grow and become new and hip, will it continue to be like it is right now, a very, very popular area? It's to be determined. Next up, just go north of downtown on the near north side, kind of over there by Ivy Tech Community College, there's an area called Fall Creek Place. Fall Creek Place, this is a neighborhood that used to be called Dodge City not too long ago. And that was called Dodge City in the 70s and 80s and 90s because you had to dodge bullets. So there's a lot of crime going on here. And so it was an area of high crime, abandoned homes, vacant property. And so essentially it was perfect for gentrification to occur because it had the recipe. It had an area of just kind of abandonment. But as we'll see, this is actually a pretty historical area. This is not too far from downtown. You'll see a lot of big homes in this particular area. Just a little south is the Benjamin Harrison home, a former president of the United States. So kind of a lot of these wealthy big homes back in the day were abandoned and then left available here for gentrification to occur, which we can see here on North Delaware Street. So here we see a mixture of architectural styles, but also bigger homes. And so these homes have been refurbished, rehabbed, fixed up. And so you can see also, the cars, very nice cars as well. And so you can see it's middle class, or maybe upper middle class probably moving in here. And so you see displacement. You see, like I've mentioned beforehand, the change from this area becoming diverse to being more middle to upper class. Gentrification occurring, but nonetheless it's fixed up this area. And so these homes, big, huge, rooms, nice woodworking inside. They got a lot of nice features, a lot of distinctively, good architecture, good, unique features that you don't find in suburbs. And so one more amenity, one more thing that makes these areas attractive to people moving here. further, here we see just a little further up on Delaware Street some businesses. And so you can see, unique architecture, rehabbing areas, adding new businesses, and it's creating revitalization in these particular areas. And you see that right here. So once again, increasing the tax base. There were no businesses here. There are hardly anybody living here. And so now it's been rehabbed, and you're seeing the economic vitality to an area return. One of the positives of gentrification.